Alright, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Celtic Pride, and today I am going to start the very first episode of my 2K17 wish list right here and right now. I feel like it's really good to get it out here early, have a lot of people see it hopefully. So yeah, hopefully that works out, man. But first thing I want to talk about is, of course, the most played mode in 2K, obviously the most famous mode with pretty much everybody, MyCareer. And I have a few things that I'm going to cover in this video. I'm of course going to make multiple videos about MyCareer and about what I'd like to see change. But right now we are going to get down with the really core stuff, the stuff that really holds MyCareer together, and that's really the caps, the animations, everything that makes MyCareer what it is, the ability to customize your player. That's why it's called MyCareer. It's really special. It's an amazing mode. The depth is incredible. Major props to 2K for everything that they've done with this mode, man. It keeps getting better every single year, but there are some things that I wish I could see back from previous 2Ks. So without further ado, we are going to talk about the first issue that I've had, and this one has only been here for the I think past 2 years, 2K15 and 2K16, and that is these attribute buckets. So as you see right here, you got your jump shooter. I'm sure a lot of you guys know. You got your jump shooter, your inside scorer, your athlete, your playmaker, your rebounder, and your defender. Now, the good thing about this bucket is, I guess it does make it easier, for players who maybe aren't as experienced with the game to just say, okay, I want to upgrade my defense, and it automatically upgrades, every defensive stat you need. And it's really cool, but it takes away a little bit of the individuality that you have as a player. Like, say, as you can see right here, I'm trying to work on a 6'8" shooting guard inside scoring style, trying to make like a throwback Tracy McGrady type of guy, just a major slasher who has a little bit of a jumper to show off, but not really much of one. Now, but this is more useful. Well, actually, you know what? It's really useful for everybody, because let's take a look at inside scorer right here. Now, as a 6'8" shooting guard, I want to have a really high layup rating, especially if I'm going to be a slasher, a rim attacker. So as you see right here, I can get myself to a 90 driving layup, but do I really want to upgrade my post hook? I don't think I'm going to be posting up too much, but unfortunately, due to the attribute buckets, if I want to upgrade my driving layup, if I want to upgrade my standing layup, if I want to upgrade my post fade, I got to upgrade post hook and post control. And say you're a big man and you want to have a high free throw rating, right? You want to be a good free throw shooter even though you're a big that stays around the basket. You got to upgrade your mid-range, you got to upgrade your three-point. And it's a really easy way for, kind of for 2K to just get that little bit of extra VC out of you. You'll see right here, if you're a center and you want to become a better ball handler, or even if you're a guard, you want to become a better ball handler, but say you don't want to waste VC on passing just yet, you're low on VC, well, that's too bad. You have to upgrade what you have to upgrade. And say you're a guard, and say you don't want to be an amazing dunker, but you want to be really quick. That's not possible. If you want to upgrade your speed, you're going to upgrade your dunk. And that's the case with almost all of these. And it really takes away the individuality, because at the end of the day, if you're, upgrading buckets just like everyone else, you're going to end up having the same players, and it really takes the individuality out of the game. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away, and we're going to take a look at NBA 2K16. I mean, not 2K16, NBA 2K14. And I'm going to show you guys, the customizations options that were available at that time, and that really made it, seem special that you had your own player that played his certain way, and it really differentiated you from everyone else. So I will see you guys when we get there, and have a good one. Alright guys, welcome to NBA 2K14. Right now, I'm going to be showcasing, the little creation thing. Just the example of what I wanted to show you guys. Obviously this is going to have a lot to do with, what I'd like to see in NBA 2K17. So, we're going back in the time machine a little bit. And I feel like, I think they did this for 3 years. They started, actually, it might have been 4 years. I think they started in NBA 2K10 with you being able to choose the play style for your MyPlayer. Well, that's when MyPlayer started. MyCareer started in 2K10. So, and as you can see here, we have our position. So I usually make a shooting guard, so we're going to go straight to shooting guard right now. And you see right here, play style. This is huge, guys. Look at this. You have all around scoring, defensive, 3-point specialist, athletic, slashing. And, that really would put, something like, I guess you could say it would differentiate between the players. So I think right here I'm going to go with a 3-point specialist at 6'7", and we are going to see, exactly how he plays. He's going to be righty all the way. I'm not really going to do too much with this. Max out the wingspan. This isn't really a big deal though, but as you'll see, it's kind of like 2K15 and 2K16. But here's the big differentiator right here is the play styles, man. This is absolutely huge because you'll give people the option, instead of just the inside and the outside, they'll have some options on what type of player they want to build. And I feel like, this was a really positive thing. And the whole inside and outside scoring thing doesn't really, I don't know how you would say it. It doesn't give you that option of freedom that you should feel. And you'll also see a few more other things that we'll talk about later. I think I'm gonna get thrown into a cutscene here, so I will see you guys when we come out of that, and I will show you a few more things that I want to see from 2K. Alright guys, so here we are looking at the stats for my player, and something you'll notice right here, there are still some pretty stiff attribute caps. As you'll see right there, for the shot close, I can only max it out to an 85. I can get the mid-range to a 92. And I can also only get the 3-point to a 92. And I have no problem with that, man. That is not bad at all. The caps are still somewhat limited. And you see right here, dunk is 85. I feel like they're a little bit more well-rounded for these players. Maybe they're a little too high, so the stats, they could definitely take a hit. I wouldn't mind that at all. But you see right here, some of the stats for these players. But the main thing I want to talk about is, you'll be able to see that I can upgrade them individually. That is huge, man. Look at that. I can go and upgrade an attribute individually by itself. If I want to, specialize in one thing for a while, I can. I don't have to put points in a bucket to upgrade things that I don't want. So say, for example, I want to upgrade my layup, which now in 2K16 is a driving layup. Say I want to upgrade my layup a little bit. I don't have to come over here and upgrade, another thing that's in the inside bucket like post fadeaway and post hook. I can save myself VC, and I can upgrade the things that I actually need to do well on the basketball court, because I'm not doing any post fades or any post hooks as a, outside shooting guard, but I am going to be driving to the basket. So, that definitely makes a lot of sense. You're going to see right here, same thing with the defensive ratings. Look, the defensive ratings for a 3-point specialist only caps at an 80. It definitely keeps things balanced. So I feel like, this could really work out. Look at that. Speed's capped at an 85. Quickness is at a 90. I think they did a really good job in 2K14. And, hopefully they'll take some pages from that and, implement that in next year's game, in next year's MyCareer mode. So we have a little bit more of a choice over the type of the players that we have. But let's see, how do we find... Now, one thing I definitely don't agree with is the signature skills, which are now called badges. I definitely want it to remain the way it is, us having to earn badges in-game. So that can definitely stay. Alright guys, so animations wise, as you can see right here in NBA 2K16, the only options we have are either, the jump shots of current NBA players, maybe even some past ones, some legends. And we also have release numbers, which are also useful for us. But the only thing is, guys, we do not have the option to make our own custom jump shots. once again, I'm going to cut to NBA 2K14, and I'm going to show you guys that that is in the game and fully functional. You know, I don't understand why sometimes it seems like 2K took a little bit of a step backwards, but I'm going to show you guys that, you know, that it was in the game before and it can definitely make a comeback, so it's not wrong, you know, to ask for that and to demand that. So I will see you guys when we get back to NBA 2K14. Alright, so here we go. I believe we found it, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so as you can see right here, you know, it was a little funky. I don't really remember this exactly, but it looks like you can you select it. As you see right there, I have Kyrie Irving's, you know, I guess you would say hands. So you see I had Kyrie Irving's hands equipped right here. I can change it. There's Kevin Love. That's a really nice one. Now, the jump shot that I really enjoyed with the 2K15 demigod that I had, and the only reason I ever made a demigod was so I could have my own jump shot. But where is he? Did he have an animation this year? Yes, he did. It's Gallinari. Now, I think what I have to do is, I don't think they're available. Yeah, they cost VC, but I think there's some, you know, like bootleg versions that kind of look exactly the same, and I think it would be, yeah, 22. As you can see right there, that was my favorite jump shot. You know, really nice, really smooth. And it would be really nice if we could make our own jump shots again. I don't understand, once again, I don't understand why this was taken out. You know, it's a really nice thing to have in the game. Really nice to be able to have your own form. So, hopefully that's included in the next rendition of 2K. I'd really like to make my own jump shot. And, yeah, I think that's all that we're going to take from 2K14 right here. Let me know what you guys thought about the wish list, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.